practical advice on how to be environmentally friendly, what it actually means. So you're welcome.
Not really, man. Hi everyone, my name is Katya and we'll talk a little bit about garbage problem again. Have you ever thought of what happens to the battery after you throw it out in the special box for used accumulators and batteries?
No.
Okay, but I did, and I was almost sure that these batteries are collected to be buried in some faraway place to stay with us forever. But it miraculously turned out that even in Russia we have companies that can recycle these batteries. Certainly everybody has heard something about recycling of plastic. But how about in other materials? Glass, metal, household waste, computers. Well, in the modern world, almost everything is recyclable. It definitely depends on the place where you live and produce this waste, but technologies already exist and will be improving in the future. At the end of my speech, we'll play a little game. We'll try to arrange things from the easiest to recycle to the hardest to recycle. I will hand out 10 objects to you now. And by the ease of recycling, I also understand the reasonability of recycling. So, who wants to participate in the game? Okay. You want?
Okay.
Just raise your hands forward. Okay, don't say that.
This is
keep these things. We just keep them and forgot about them for now, and we'll remember about them at the end. According to statistics, developed countries recycle 90% of waste they produce. Some part of it goes to secondary processing, and the other part goes to incineration plants to produce warmth. In Russia, only 9% of garbage is recycled. And even those 250 recycling plants that we have in Russia for now are loaded only by 40%. Now let's talk about things that must be recycled because it's cheap, easy, and saves resources. The first candidate is cardboard, old newspapers, and magazines. Sending 1 ton of cardboard to recycling saves 9 cubic yards or 8 cubic meters of landfill space. And to prepare your cardboard for being recycled, you need to flatten it, just to compress, to reduce the space occupied, and only clean cardboard can be recycled. Glass and metal can be recycled infinitely. It means that it can be recycled again and again without degrading their properties. And the first reason for recycling is that recycling saves natural resources. It requires less energy to produce new aluminum something than to mine it from the earth. The second reason is that it saves not only this metal that is in the earth, but also the water required to produce new product like you need to recycle it. And the third reason is that for manufacturers who do it, it saves their money because recycling is cheaper than producing new products. Steel is the most recycled material on the planet. The other highly recycled metals include silver, brass, copper, and gold. Here you can see the usual cycle of recycling of glass. When the glass things are collected, they are separated depending on its color, then they are shredded, which means broken into small pieces. Then they are separated again depending on their density, and the new forms, in the next step, the new forms are filled in with the molten material. Here you can see 7 marks of plastic, which you can usually find on the bottom of plastic products. On the right side of the mark, you see the product that is produced using this type of plastic here. 7th type represents mixed plastic, which means it is produced from different types, and usually it is never recycled because it's hard to split it on its components. So different type of plastic needs quite different technologies. In general, they are the same, but temperature, like something like this, varies. And if you don't recognize what is near the 5th sign, it's an automobile bumper. If the materials produced from 7th plastic are not recycled, then the materials produced from the 1st and the 2nd types of plastic are recyclable for sure, even in Russia. Yeah, only clean plastic must be and can be recycled. And here you can see some tips how to prepare your plastic bottle for recycling. You need to remove its top, because the bottle itself is produced usually from the 1st type of plastic, and the top usually is made of 2nd type. And you need to, again, to rinse it and to flatten the bottle in this coarse view. And there are, I don't know if you saw, but I saw special boxes in supermarkets like Rostock and Fusil for collecting these tops. They're called like kind tops, something like this. Here is the usual way of plastic recycling. After it is collected, it is manually sorted again, depending on its color. Then it is baled, which means it is compressed to reduce the space. The crushing is washing, regeneration, and actually the final step of plastic recycling is final product is these plastic granules that can be used to produce new materials. Now batteries. You can see in the slide the lead-acid battery here in the left side. Lead is this metal from chemical element called plumbum. You can see this gray cube again in the left corner. The main parts of lead-acid batteries are lead, acid, and plastic covering known as polypropylene. And acid, you can see any information about acid in the slide, but just trust me that acid is neutralized. It is extracted from the battery, neutralized, and then can be used in producing of detergents and fertilizers. But again, when the batteries are collected, they are crushing, and is it working? Okay. The battery is crushing, and all the pieces of lead and plastic go to a special container with a special liquid, where the plastic elements float on the surface, and the lead parts goes further in this violet container. Then there is a refining, and the final product is lead bars, which can be used later in producing new materials. And plastic things go to another side, and there is a cleaning, and the final product is again polypropylene, raw polypropylene, which is used again in automobile industry. There is an automobile bumper again. Now, people who have things that I gave to you, please come here and stay some line. We have not a lot of space, sorry. Okay. Which of these products you think is the first candidate for recycling?
The easiest or
the easiest, and but no, you have actually the same it's just for people who don't participate. They have picture here, and you have kind of the same. So which of these products is the easiest for recycling in your opinion?
Paper.
Sand, glass.
Well, we need
Paper high temperature to recycle this kind of metal.
Okay, I hear glass, metal, and gold. Yeah, it is the first. No, paper will be next. But so yeah, people who have faucet, plastic jar, and there is a ring somewhere. They are the best things for recycling. So please sit who have these things just to reduce. Okay.
Plastic or glass too?
Glass jar. Yeah. So, which is the next to recycle? What do you think, guys?
Paper. You said cardboard.
Yeah.
Okay, cardboard box is the next candidate. Yeah. Thank you.
Does it matter that it's colored?
I don't know. Just take it to this special box and forget about it. Okay, what is the next?
Paper.
Not really, we'll talk about it later. No.
Clothes.
Yeah, clothes. You're right. You can give it to me. Actually, I wouldn't say that clothes is recycled. It's just used in her second life, like it is crushed or to produce some weighting and for filling mattresses and some furniture padding. So, like something soft. Okay, let's go. Next.
Or bottle.
Where is bottle, actually? Please stay there. So, the next is actually plastic bottle. You're right. Yeah, thank you.
Plastic bag.
Plastic bag. Yeah, thank you. Plastic bags are recyclable, but nobody does it because it's hard to invent this machinery that can recycle them because they are small and they can tangle in this engine or machinery, and it can endanger the whole recycling process. So nobody does it. And the second reason is that it's cheap and it's easy to produce it. Just what is next?
Battery.
Battery. Yeah, battery and a smartphone, right, because it's plastic, metals. Yeah, you can see, thank you. Yeah, could you get to you can see, thank you. Actually, yeah, it's not recyclable. I forgot to tell you that it's just our arbitrary decision. We're not engineers, but it's how I can do it using all these materials that I read when I prepared for this presentation. Actually, it's not made from paper. The paper is just the outer layer, and the inner layer is made of thin plastic. It protects your drink from cooling so quickly and protects your hands from being burnt. And it is hard to split it on its paper part and plastic part. And it is not recyclable. So next time when you will take a coffee cup, just bring yours. Yes, but here is the answers. During my research, I stumbled upon a wonderful Russian website. You can see the link here. It is about recycling in Moscow and Moscow region. You can find here information on what things can be recycled, what to do with the things that you want to get rid of, how to prepare them for it, who is responsible for shipment in your region, and what to do if you face unfair utility service. The main idea I want you to grasp is that in this huge and fairly complicated process of saving nature and reusing materials, one detail depends on us: separate collection of waste for its future sorting and recycling. Starting now and in the long-term perspective, it will be a great foundation for future garbage recycling and full waste recycling. Let's make it possible.